Here are Johnny Stock, Xcite Wrestling in Johnson City here at the Oakdale Mall at the X with the one and only ECW legend Mikey Whipwreck. And Mikey, this is an awesome night. You're getting back at the ring tonight. And tell us about being here at Xcite right now.
This is exciting. When I pulled up, I'm like, this had a freaking mall. And I came in, man, it's like it's an old store that, somebody got rid of. And, Johnny set up here, and it's awesome. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. It's like a little exhibit hall. Yeah. It's perfect. It's like customized for them, and it's really a cool vibe. And the place is packed.
Yes.
It's even better.
Standing room only in here in the X tonight, and what an awesome night it is. And you put on a clinic today, which is pretty special. And you've seen that trend a lot in wrestling, certainly in the last 5 to 10 years. Guys holding clinics. You yourself having one today. What does that do for the next generation? How important is that?
I think it's important because now that the business has changed so much, you don't have the territories, and you don't have the newer guys traveling with the veterans as much and getting that 5-6 hours in the car learning that way. So for some older guys to come in and kind of coach the younger guys in like a more intimate setting, I think it helps.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we're in a strict 10-minute intermission right now, so very strict. But I wanted to ask you, the landscape of wrestling, certainly a loaded question. AEW's in the game. New Japan certainly on the rise, always as well. Looking back on 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and seeing where the business is now, it's really at a fever pitch.
It is. I mean, and people seem to be excited again. I mean, like I said, you have AEW, NWA's doing well. You have Ring of Honor's doing well, WWE's doing pretty well, like I said, AEW. So it's kind of one of those when wrestling overall does well on the bigger scale, it helps the little guys too. Yeah. And you can see here, I mean, the place is packed. Yeah. So it's exciting. The guys have more places to work. There's more alternatives for the fan. So there's plenty of stuff out there. So if you're a wrestling fan and you say you can't find something you want to watch, you ain't looking hard enough.
Right, you're not looking hard enough.
There's stuff everywhere. It's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Mikey, when you go to these venues, these arenas, these match cards that you're on, and they chant ECW to this day,
it's crazy.
How amazing is that as an accomplishment?
It's crazy. You figure, okay, 2002, 2003, it's kind of fresh, okay, but here it is, 2020, they still do it. It's, you never think about, as you're doing it, the legacy you're leaving and kind of what kind of impact you're having on people. But, I mean, this has stood the test of time. And even though Vince tried to kill it, you still get it. So it's very cool.
Right on. And moving forward with your career, obviously doing a lot of clinics, doing a lot of things like that. And tell us about what's next for Mikey Whipwreck.
Hopefully nothing. Johnny came and asked me, pretty much begged me to come out here and, come out of retirement again to do it. But, last time I did anything was probably about a year ago up in Toronto with Tajiri. So these things are very few and far between for me. So I have no idea what's next. I'm looking forward to tomorrow in the Super Bowl.
That's right. 49ers and Chiefs certainly in the Super Bowl down in Miami. And my last quick question is, we obviously talked down at Binghamton, the Rumble Pony Stadium at Nice Lake Stadium, and we talked about some of the wild times in the original ECW and what you could say on camera. And what was you talked about that Sabu match, which was insane, and where he put the glue right in his veins, kind of like to stop the bleeding. But who was your best opponent in ECW all time?
Best opponent, I'd say either Just Incredible, Little Guido, Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I had a couple. Sabu, Just Incredible. Spike was fun to work with too. Yeah. Jerry Lynn, Lance Storm, the guys that didn't hurt me. Yeah. Those were the best ones.
Yeah, and you mentioned Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it was kind of like the metamorphosis and the evolution of Stone Cold with how he cut his promos back at ECW. Paul Heyman just said, "Hey, here's a mic, go." And what was that like, seeing that evolution just unfold?
That was awesome because he was pissed. He came in, and he was just full of piss and vinegar, and just Paul said, like you said, here's a mic, just go at it. And he's just being himself, taking a real life situation and really just amping it up, and it was just awesome. That's Steve, really, just way down to earth, and that's just shoots the shit, straight shooter, and that's how he is. So
that's awesome. And for WrestlingInc.com, the one and only Mikey Whipwreck, ECW lesson here in Binghamton tonight. And Last quick thing I wanted to ask you is this. I mean, there's a lot of comparisons right now with AEW and kind of WCW of what it had in the late 2000s, or the early 2000s, and that get that real feel to it. Do you get that if you have a chance to check out AEW? Do you get that same feeling?
I watch it. I said they have a lot of kids that are new and not used to doing television, and you can kind of tell. But their fans, I mean, they're behind the product. It's kind of like you have WCW money and ECW fans. You know what I mean? And with the talent they have, I mean, there's no reason they can't blow up.
Right on.
I'm not saying that because, that's the cool thing to say. It's true. The cons are behind it 100%. Cody's a smart guy. The Bucks are smart. So it's like, okay, well, if they know what works, if they can take their talent, they can kind of... 2 minutes, everybody.
2 minutes intermission.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they start hitting on all cylinders and they strike on something, they got it.
Mikey, thank you so much. WrestlingInc.com, Mikey Whipwreck, the legend. And hopefully no table shots, or maybe, right, tonight.
Maybe one or two. Maybe one or two.
I love it. Mikey Whipwreck for WrestlingInc.com.